Hi YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and welcome to another Chit Chat Create video. I'm in progress, and I decided let me film. Okay, so today is not September the 3rd or the 8th. No, haha, it is close to fall. Today is Thursday, and it is still September, but not for long. Can you guys believe next month is Halloween? And then, well, in a matter of days, because today is September the 20th, in a matter of days, well, in a couple days, it's going to be fall, and I cannot wait. Ha ha! But in a matter of days, it will be October the 1st, and then we'll be able to say next month is Thanksgiving. Can you believe it? The season is almost upon us, but I cannot wait until the first day of fall, which is Saturday, 2 days from now. We've had glorious fall weather the last couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, well, I've been walking a lot lately, and the other day on my walk, it was getting dark, and I couldn't tell if the trees were turning colors. I thought they were, but yesterday when I drove down the same street, I could see the color of fall. I'm super excited. You guys, fall is my favorite season, and I like to celebrate the changes of the season with, it could be a walk, it could be something simple, but I like to commemorate the change of the seasons, especially fall. But you know what? I think fall day, we are going to be the hottest we have been in the last couple of weeks. I think we are going to be mid-90s. Now, I'm not complaining because the last couple of weeks we have had fall weather in the mid-80s, beautiful. But why on that day will it feel like summer? But that's not going to last. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing, well, I may not do it now. I was going to get up early and barbecue to commemorate the changing of the season to my favorite season, but if it's going to be in the mid-90s, I'm not too sure, because that means the mosquitoes are going to be out to get me. And let me tell you, I am not feeling that. But we're going to create today. Yeah, I have been making journals, you guys. But I'm so very grateful. Today I feel a whole lot better. I don't know what it was. Well, it was probably food poisoning. I don't think I've ever had it, but Friday night, I had a craving for KFC. Yeah, original. I had not had original in years, people. It's been a long time. And I was craving that. And so I went through the drive-thru, picked up some chicken, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw, because I hadn't had it in such a long time, and it was good. I mean, belly good, boy. I was rubbing my belly like, I want more. And so Monday night, I went and got some. And each time I went, they were out of honey. I'm like, what is going on? Is it a honey shortage? So anyway, that night, gave some to my husband too, except on Monday night, I gave him coleslaw, and I didn't give him coleslaw on Friday night. So anyway, the last several days, boy, let me tell you, my stomach has had a mind and a body of its own, people. I never experienced anything like that. I mean, the rumbling, the grumbling, the sharp pains. I could just feel air moving throughout my whole stomach, up to my chest, down to my pelvic area. And it hurt a lot. I mean, it was constant all day, all night. I couldn't turn to my side. I couldn't lay on my belly. And there's been moments when I would feel not that bad, but the sharpness, you know, when you feel that gas, it can be painful, but it don't last more than 5 minutes. People, this was all day, all night, for a couple days. When it first started, I figured, let me walk it off. But throughout those couple days when I was experiencing that, because I read online, walk and exercise. Well, I walk anyway. And then I tried to run. It was painful. Every step I took, people, was so uncomfortable. So last night I decided to call Kaiser because I'm like, I am going in. I don't know what this is. On the phone with Kaiser, I began to feel better. Right? Now, that morning I had taken some baking soda with lemon and water. And then that evening I had, because I hadn't, this was yesterday, I think, yeah. I didn't eat all day. I was too afraid to eat. I did not want anything to agitate my belly. And so I taken that baking soda yesterday morning, and then yesterday evening I took this detox tea, and boy, my stomach began to rumble after I drank that. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but then an hour later I called Kaiser and I began to feel better. To the point, because I had told my husband, hey, you can have cereal for dinner because I am not cooking. I felt good enough to drive to Sam's Club because the doctor told me eat rice. So I'm like, I am not eating plain rice. So I thought of sushi. And Sam's Club, they have a variety of sushi. I don't like that raw fish stuff. I like the California Crunch, spicy. Let me tell you, I was so tempted to get the spicy, but you shouldn't really have spicy food when you have stomach issues. And so I grabbed the California Crunch sushi, non-spicy, walked around the store, was feeling really good. And then I decided, you know what? They have this crusted frozen fish that's really good. So I put the sushi back. I got that, and then I got their baked cheesy potatoes. You only have to bake this stuff, and then you have an instant meal. So I ended up getting that, came home, decided to eat it. Right? I did eat it. And this was like 9 o'clock at night. And I woke up this morning feeling a lot better. I still have the tightness in my belly, but when I walk, I don't feel that pain. So thank God, whatever it is, it's going away. And I don't know if it's going away because time has passed, or that baking soda concoction with lemon helped, or that tea helped. You know, I guess I do wish I knew, but I'm just thankful. But I did drink more of that tea today. And in about 15 minutes, it's 5:30 right now, I will be taking a walk. But anyway, you guys, I am making junk journal envelopes. I got some tips for you guys. Yeah, so I'm in progress, but I grabbed a tool that's vintage today in the crafting world. And a lot of you guys remember these. Some of you may have them. Some of you may still use them. But before the die cutting machines hit our homes, we had decorative scissors. Yep. So I grabbed mine from the garage, and believe me, they were dusty, dirty, because my garage is dust central. I cleaned them up, and this is what we will be using to add a decorative touch to our junk journal envelopes. So I got these from Costco years ago when they used to have scrapbooking stuff. I actually purchased 2 of these. The scissors may have been the same, I don't know, but the caddy was different. And so I got rid of one of them, and I kept scissors from both caddies. So you are looking at these. Alrighty, so it is the next day. It's about 11:30 a.m. I went on a walk yesterday evening, about an hour and 45 minutes, and totally not healed in my belly yet. I'm going to walk again today, and I'll compare yesterday to today. But overall, I feel a lot better. Even slept better last night. So I am on the mend. But I did work on more of these junk journaling tags. Let me show you what I did. Love them. So several days ago, I stained this paper, and so I played around with it. And I'll share what I used in a second, but take a look at that one. Now, you guys, I used my vintage wood handle red rubber stamps. I'll share the first video tomorrow to commemorate fall, but when you guys see this video, I would have shared several videos of, I will just show you right now. This is what I'm working with. Well, first, let me finish sharing the tags. Do you guys start something and then start something else and then start something else and then forget about what you originally started? I am trying to stay on task with one thing at one time. Take a look at this one. And some of these are only decorated on the front. Yeah, these are so cool. And these are pockets, you guys. Yeah, this is cool. And can you see the different edges that I have on my pockets? Okay, so what I'm working with are these types of vintage stamps. These are not stamps that were used in paper crafting, right? This was before paper crafting as we know it. These are actual vintage stamps that companies used. So I am randomly grabbing stamps and stamping on my pockets. Okay, what else am I working with? Okay, let me show you. This is so cool here. So earlier in the year, I think I may have shared these paper pads. I visited a thrift store / antique store. I forgot was even there. I somehow stumbled across it, and that day they had an outdoor thing going on. But I went inside, really nice, but I came across these pads, and this was actually one pad, and all this, it just came apart. And I grabbed a couple of them, and then I went back the other day, and they still had all the ones I had seen earlier in the year. I don't think anybody bought them. And so I bought me a nice stack of these because I think these are vintage, you guys. So I'm asking you, have you guys seen these pads before? Now, when I went yesterday and grabbed more, the store owner gave me a little story. By the way, he said these are cool, and I think they're cool too. But he stated that his store acquired a whole store. It was a 5 and dime store. So he purchased the 5 and dime store, and he was told that the contents of that store, everything was from 1976 and before. And he purchased these pads from that 5 and dime store. Now, do you guys remember 5 and dime? I remember we had a similar store, and it was called, I think, 5 and dime or something very similar. I used to shop at back in the 80s. So this pad, you guys, consists of these graph type charts, but the pages have different products. So I've never heard of Adam's Clove Gum, but you could still buy this gum here. And when I purchased these, I thought they were all this particular product because I didn't even flip through it, and I didn't know they were different colors. Oh, I still buy Dentine, right? Actually, Dentine is the one I saw. But there's different colors, and look at this. Blue Jack, Beeman's, never heard of that. And so then it repeats itself. But this is so cool. And then it's the vintage color naturally, but then it starts to stain along the edges. So I love that. So I'm using that, and then I'm using these envelopes, large envelopes or long envelopes that I acquired from a thrift store. I got a whole box, probably a 500 of these, if not very close to it, at a super duper cheap price. And I love the color. It's that manila color of file folders, so I'm using that. And of course, once again, using my decorative scissors. Now, I realize the ones that I like to use are, well, let's see. Well, you know, let's just make one. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to create a collage with just a long envelope. But what you do is you take your envelope, and you can use whatever type of envelope you have, and then cut it up, right? Don't cut it up, but you want to slice it. And the type of edges that I like to use are the softer edges. You could play around with whatever you have. My favorite so far is the Deco. And I hope I have a Deco scissor that's long. But let's try something different. Let's try this wavy one. It's called Arabian. And what I do is, well, let's keep this one simple. Let's just cut it straight across. And look, you have a decorative pocket. Just that simple. Now, the cool thing is, if you don't like that particular design, which I don't care for this one right now, take another scissor and just cut it again. And I love that one. Can you guys see? Or perhaps I should get a darker piece of paper. Well, I think you could see that edge. And this one is called Bell Edge. I have not used my decorative scissors in such a long time, you guys, but this is a way to bring them out and put them to good use. Okay, and so then the next thing to do, if you don't have any type of graph, well, use whatever you have, people. You probably don't have this. I've never seen this before. And by the way, I went online. I can't find any images of this. If you guys have any information about this, please leave it below. But what I did was just cut down the paper, right? Sometimes I use the images. On some envelopes, I don't. And what I do is just line up my pocket and cut out. There's no rhyme or reason. Don't put a lot of thought into this. It don't have to be perfect. And I just cut it. So you guys, I love to walk. Those who follow me, you've probably heard me say that many times. I also jog. I love to jog. But let me tell you, when I walk, it's like, do not disturb me. I don't like to be on the phone when I walk. Sometimes I do talk on the phone, but when I walk, it's all about me time. And not just me time, but people, let me tell you, my mind takes me to places I will never see. I become characters as I walk, people. Let me tell you, I fantasize. I'm a writer just by nature. And I think that's why my mind goes where it goes. But it's so fun when I'm walking. It's peaceful. It's I can become anybody I want to become. So I'm going to share my latest character with you guys. Oh my goodness. I want to say I'm embarrassed, but don't you guys escape in your mind? And my way to escape is when I walk. And so my latest character in my mind, and I'm actually thinking about writing. I'm working on a book right now that I have been for a long time. But I'm thinking about maybe taking all of my walking characters and putting them into like a little book. I think it's so fun. But anyway, my latest character is a woman who hits the Powerball, right? She wins like $900 million. Now, she's not married or anything. The thing is, she keeps her winnings a secret. So she lives this life of disguise. No one knows that she's almost a billionaire. And what she does is she likes to help people in small ways. Like if she's in the grocery store, she'll pay for someone's groceries. She'll make secret deposits in people's accounts. She don't live a real lavish lifestyle, a good lifestyle, but not lavish enough to draw attention to herself. But she starts these nonprofits, and she hires people. Her whole aim is to give them a good job, good benefits, to be a blessing in disguise, not really requiring much. But in order for her to stay anonymous, she has to be creative with how she blesses people, because people can't know that it's her blessing people. And one thing that she does for Christmas is through one of her nonprofits, she takes like a diesel and she transforms it into Santa's workshop. So it's all decorated like Santa's workshop. And then she has, I forget what you call those cars when you can lift your hand. Not a convertible, but it has like a little convertible opening. Well, the diesel has an opening. And during the season, Santa could be seen on the rooftop of the diesel. At least part of his body waving or sticking out and Santa waving. And the top of the diesel, of course, has Rudolph and all the reindeers. Well, what this mobile Santa's workshop is all about, well, it visits different communities, needed communities within that city, makes a stop in a neighborhood, set up workshop on a corner, and Santa and his elves passes out wrapped gifts to children. And the kids can also sit on Santa's lap and take pictures. And then you have different people dressed up once again as the elves. And it's just a festive time for that stricken community. So that's one of the things that this character does as this multi-millionaire, right? So that's one of the characters in my mind as I walk. People, I have many, and they're all not saved either. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, my mind, it goes there. Okay, so you guys, you saw what I did here. And look, that's just so nice. I like it. I like it, like it. So what I'm going to do now is take a stamp, and let's take this one. Do you guys like my character? Isn't that cool? Do you guys think about winning the lottery? You know, I came so close one time. I kid you not. Maybe I'll share that story. I don't know. But I felt like the Lord was showing me that I had the ability to be rich. Truth be told, I don't want to hit the lottery. No, I think we all want a degree of riches, but I want to earn mine. The Lord has given me gifts and talents, and if I'm faithful, if I'm diligent, money is there. But the Lord was showing me that wealth is in my future. So I didn't win, but I pretty much had the numbers to win. And I don't regret not playing that day. Because once again, I really don't want to come into money that way. I really don't. And if I was to ever win, because occasionally I do play just because, I would be anonymous. I don't think I would share it with my husband. I really don't. But do you guys like that character? Right? She does good, and she does it in secret. Okay, I think I want another stamp. I don't know if I've used this one. So you guys, my grandmother, she's 98 years old, and she has a degree of dementia. She'll ask me the same thing over and over again, like within a half an hour. But sometimes her memory is better than other days. But let me tell you, yesterday we were coming back to my house, and oh, I'll use this one. Quoted prices. Do not sub or change prices. And all of a sudden, she started talking about her mom. How much she loved her mom and she would do anything for her mom. And then she talked about her dad. And I've never heard her talk about her dad, right? My grandmother began to tell me all of these childhood stories. And I was like, Grandma, your childhood memory is better than mine because I don't remember nothing about childhood. I mean, people, I had never heard of the smoothing iron. She talked about that and told me how they used it. Of course, I knew that they hung their clothes out on a clothesline because we did that growing up too. And I'm not like that old. But she didn't call it a clothesline. She called it a barbed wire fence. So she put the, the real name to it. She talked about the wood burning stove and even remembered that she had one. And I hope no one stole it from her backyard. Oh my goodness, because she do have, or hopefully she still has one in her backyard. I wanted to bring it to my house, but it was so heavy. But she talked about that. She talked about having a wagon. She talked and the mules pulled the wagon. I mean, she had all of these stories about how they didn't really have like a bathroom, but they had a tub in another room and heated up water in the bucket. But what was so funny, and if you're older, I don't know, you probably can relate to this, but my grandmother, her family was huge. I mean, like 15 siblings and a mom and a dad. And they didn't have a big house. But she was like, yeah, we had a tub in another room of the house. And she explained to me how they got water in and out the tub with the bucket and watered or heated the water on the stove. And she said, yep, every Saturday we had to take a bath. And let me tell you, we were faithful. Every Saturday we took our baths and we did not miss a Saturday. Now, I laugh at that because in today's time, if you brag about taking a bath once a week, back then the times were different. A lot of people in the house, it took a lot of work, I'm sure, to heat up water and transport water, so it made sense. You couldn't take a shower every day or every other day. But it was so funny how my grandma said we didn't miss a Saturday. Every Saturday we took our bath. But I so much appreciate those stories. I did not know my grandma had it in her. And I guess when you're not stressed, you can think. And I think for her, she wasn't under any stress. Those memories just came. I mean, she shared some heartfelt memories. And after that first minute, I grabbed my phone and started recording because I was like, oh my goodness, you can't put a price on family stories like that, right? My grandmother, she has outlived 4 of her kids, including my mother. She only has 2 surviving children, outlived her husband. She's been through a whole lot, and I'm just so happy to have this time with her and to have these memories because last year I took her and my sister out to eat, and I shared this in one of my videos. And my grandmother is an excellent cook, but I know she don't remember much. And I wanted her recipe for her greens because I do remember her making greens growing up. Of course, she didn't remember all that she put in it, But what I did, because I don't have any of her like recipes, not orally or not written, it's just based on what I remember. So I took a piece of 100-year-old, I think it was 100-year-old. I found this scrapbook that was very old, and a lot of blank pages were still in this book. And so I took one of those pages out and die cut out a recipe card and stamped the recipe card lines on that paper and had my grandmother write in her own handwriting what she remembered, her recipe for her greens. And I know I put that somewhere safe. I just don't remember where it is. But I'm doing things like that to try to, capture a moment of her life while she's still here. But I'm so happy to have those stories. I will write those stories down. I actually thought about putting those stories in a family children's book. Yeah, so I might do that. But you guys, look what I just made. And if you want to, what you can do is ink it up a little bit, distress it even more. You guys, I found these. Let me see. Let me grab a package of these I found these from a brand new thrift store for $1.25. And I love them. So I purchased two packs, and then I went back several days later and got the remainders because I looked online and these are like $4 and $5. And I love them, and they're pink. So yeah, I add a little bit of ink. If I want to, I can add more stamps, but look at this, you guys. And if you want the little notch, you could use a circle punch. Let's do that. I didn't want to do that, but because I didn't want to punch into my circles, but I have a little bit of give. So I want to have this like in the center. Look at that. I love it. And you guys, if you use those long envelopes, you can make several pockets from one envelope. Aren't these fun? And once again, you don't need the long pockets. You could use the shorter or smaller pockets. The key is to use your decorative scissors and cut your envelopes different angles. Like, let's see, let's do one more. I'm not going to decorate this one, but I just want to cut it for you. And some of the scissors that I use, my favorite is the Deco. I like the Flash. This one is okay, the Wave. This is a Fiskars Teresa Collins, the Scallop. And then this Bell. I think I used the Bell in the video. And there's several others too. But I will grab one of these other shapes. Like this is the Cloud. These are more pronounced, bigger shapes. You could use these too. But the key is to use your decorative scissors and just take your scissors and cut. I mean, you can cut straight. I haven't done that yet, but cut at an angle like that. And there's that pocket. You could add stitching. I think I will do that. But here's a pocket. I would have to stitch here. But you can make these in different shapes, like a half triangle pocket. You can either make it that way, or you can, I have one that faces, you could make it that way. And I do have one that way. I just don't know where it's at. So this is so fun, you guys. You could just sit down, relax, not put a lot of thought into it. You could see for this one, I use the actual image and folded it back. So that's nice just by itself. Perfect for junk journals, art journals, These can be tags too. I mean, I'm really feeling this. Okay, so tomorrow is fall, you guys. And you know what? We've had blessed weather, like fall weather the last couple weeks. But how come? I think today, actually, we're in the mid upper 90s and will be for the next week. So we are starting off fall with true summer weather. I'm not complaining though, because we've had beautiful weather the last couple weeks, but I wanted to barbecue tomorrow morning. You know, I might wake up at 6 just to do it just for fall, but I was really hoping to have that fall weather. Less flies. Yeah, they're out already. I just came in from the backyard picking up dog poop and flies. I think they think summer is just starting, but I cannot wait until fall comes and comes to stay. If you guys have been inspired, if you have found this video just relaxing, if you have been inspired to make similar junk journal pockets, why not like this video? Why not share it? If you decide to adopt this idea, why not give proper credits? Give a shout out. Link back to this video. Well, you guys, if you have not seen my rubber stamp lot, check it out. By now, I would have shared a My Greatest Craft Find vintage red rubber wood handle rubber stamp lot with a vintage 3-tier rubber stamp holder painted. So do check out that video. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, happy fall and blessings.